This podcast is brought to you by our friends at Minimal Case. Minimal is so excited about the Pixel 4, they're giving you 25% off your order for the brand new Pixel 4 case that you're going to pick up. The Pixel 4 is beautiful, and you want a case that is so thin and light, it'll keep that phone as beautiful as the day you bought it. And to make that even sweeter, here's 25% off your order. Just use promo code DIGITPIXEL4 at checkout, because this is a Digit Daily and you're celebrating the Pixel 4. But you can use this code for any case for any phone. Once again, go to mnmlcase.com and use promo code DGITPixel and the number 4 to get 25% off your order, and we thank them for sponsoring this podcast. Good morning, Digit fam. Adam Doud here, and if I'm totally honest, I'm still trying to wrap my head around that Pixel event that was yesterday. It was so confusing and disorganized, but that is what we're here to talk about, so talk we shall. It is October 16th, 2019, and this is your Digit Daily. Now, I'm not going to spend any more time on the presentation yesterday. We discussed that enough on the Android Authority podcast last night, link in the show notes. So let's get down to brass tacks, which is probably what Google should have done yesterday, but I'm not going to harp. So we're moving on. Google unveiled a lot of products yesterday, so we're going to skip to the end and check out the Pixel 4 and the Pixel 4 XL first. Both of these phones are fairly unimpressive, but let's face it, that's Pixel's standard issue. There's a 5.7-inch Pixel 4 and a 6.3-inch Pixel 4 XL. Both phones have a 90Hz display and dual camera on the back. Those dual cameras are a first for the Pixel line. There's a standard camera and a 2x telephoto lens. Neither phone has a fingerprint sensor, at all, eschewing that for a face unlock, and there's a square camera module in the upper left corner on the back, and a new gesture navigation system, and at what point do we just say screw it and put iOS on it? At least there's no notch, I guess. The Pixel 4 also incorporates radar technology. Yes, that same stuff that they use on airplanes to detect gestures over the phone, so you can wave your hand over the phone to skip to the next song or turn off an alarm. It also speeds up face unlock slightly because your radar can detect your face faster. The only problem is that the radar uses 60 GHz spectrum, which many countries have not cleared for consumer use. So if you have a Pixel 4 and you travel to India or Japan, no radar for you. The Pixel 4 starts at $799, but you won't want that one. That's the Pixel 4 with a 2800 mAh battery and 64 GB of storage. You're probably best going off of the Pixel 4 XL with 128 GB of storage because, oh yeah, by the way, the free full resolution backups that came with the Pixel line, yeah, those are gone. So if you want to keep those photos on your phone, get the 128 gigabyte phone. And if you want a phone that will actually last a day, get the one that doesn't have a 2800 mAh battery. Now, to be fair, we haven't tested the battery yet, but one of the biggest beefs that people had with the Pixel 3 was battery life, and this battery is actually smaller. Time will tell, but let's just say I'm not optimistic. And that's not even all we saw. So we're going to go over everything else that we saw at the event with an extended version of the Roundup. I'm going to run these products down in the order that we saw them on stage. First, we got an official launch date for Google Stadia, November 19th, which means I'll be 5 days into my Disney Plus binge. Sayonara productivity. Next up, we have the Pixel Buds 2, true wireless earbuds which last 5 hours on a charge, which is great because that's probably about how long the Pixel 4 will last too. Ooh, sick burn. They're not coming until 2020 though, which is kind of weak, but they'll start at $179, which is a decent price point. Next was the Pixelbook Go, which is a $400 Chromebook starting at $649 because Google. There's a variety of specifications available going all the way up to $1,400 for 16 gigabytes of RAM, a 4K screen, and 256 gigabytes of onboard storage. Or you can do what sane people do and spend less money for a better Windows laptop. Next up, there's the wall-mountable Nest Mini speaker, which is a refresh of the Google Home Mini with a louder speaker and improved but probably still mostly non-existent bass. The Nest Wi-Fi router creates a mesh network in your home which allows you to use multiple Wi-Fi devices to cover every nook and cranny in your house, and as an added bonus, the range extenders also serve as Google Home devices, so you can tell Google Assistant to shut off the kids' Wi-Fi so they can finally come down and eat their goddamn dinner. Plus, Google spent a lot of time bragging about how it was spending $150 million in sustainability and renewable energy, which sounds great until you realize that Google literally makes $100 million per day from AdWords alone. Overall, it was a confusing announcement in many ways. Some neat products, but a lot more questions than answers. So while we wait for those questions to be answered, let's take a look at the rest of the news in tech, shall we? Twitter has long been at odds with world leaders who are definitely not President Trump, who take to the platform to write things that violate Twitter's terms of service. Again, not pointing any fingers here, we're talking about all world leaders who threaten nuclear war against other countries. Could be anybody, really. I mean, who can keep track of all the world leaders who are violating Twitter's rules? Anyway, leaders who do that will find those individual tweets flagged, and users will not be able to like, share, retweet, or reply to them. They can still quote tweet with comment for some reason, but I guess like everything else, baby steps? Speaking of trying to wrap my head around things, there is now a Harry Potter subscription service. It costs $75 per year and comes with access to all 7 ebooks, a new video series of behind-the-scenes footage, collectibles, discounts for online retailers, plus a personalized journal with hidden keys that unlock hidden content through an app. I mean, I'm not a Harry Potter guy. I couldn't make it through the movies, let alone the books. But it seems like there's a lot of value here for like $6 a month. If that's your bag, I'm not judging. Starlink, which is SpaceX's Internet from Space program, just asked for permission to launch 30,000 more satellites than the original 12,000 it's already been approved for. I mean, at some point you have to consider just building a sphere around the world and call it a day, right? Anyway, there are politics tied up into this request as well, but still, our crowded skies might get even more crowded before long if SpaceX has its way. And speaking of crowded space, NASA's first all-female spacewalk could happen as early as tomorrow, though considering the space program has existed since the 1960s, perhaps early is a bit of a misnomer. Astronauts Christina Koch and Jessica Meir will venture outside the ISS as part of a series of spacewalks to install new batteries around the space station. Sure, it's routine, but I think it's also fair to say that there's nothing routine about a spacewalk. Good luck and Godspeed, ladies. And finally, renewables generated more energy than fossil fuels for all of Q3 2019 in the UK, and I know there's a lot of caveats there. Most of the energy came from offshore wind farms in the UK, with a lot more going up later this year. Also, our friends across the pond have almost eliminated coal from their power grid, so a hearty congrats to our friendly neighbors, but be warned, no amount of wind farms will keep a Pixel 4 charged for more than 5 hours. So that is going to do it for today's Digit Daily. If you'd like to learn more about any of these stories, check out the links in the show notes and subscribe to our daily newsletter on Digit.com. And if you like what you heard, subscribe, leave a review, and don't forget to tell your friends about DigitDailyPod.com. Once again, I'm Adam Doud, Dead Technology on Twitter, and we'll talk again tomorrow.